Yeah.
Someone that plays a piano, you call him a pianist.
Right.
What do you call someone that races a motor car? A racist? But it's funny. Europe construct this race game, and the blacks going into it.
Yeah.
There's no hope, is there?
That's true. Blacks, left on their own.
At the time,
there was
when
tribe,
environmentalism, global warming, at the time the human ecology is all becoming a shared experience, he is going into race. And he talks of white supremacy. What does that make him? Yeah. If he knows he's inferior, he should shut up.
Yeah, true.
Why are you whistling behind your breath?
Because there's
But you want to be equal to the white man, you want to be equal to the West.
Yeah.
Because you see the West as the epitome of universal value.
Correct.
You think the West is the only space of cultural value. By default, you're excluding non-Western people.
Because non-Western people are dominated by the Western people. That's dominance power. The power is here. Did you know that?
Listen, my friend, you are free because we have a democracy.
No. The democracy, this Western democracy is a white supremacist, racist idea.
So, are you telling me that the people in China don't love China?
Of course they do.
That you love China more than they do?
But China
No, but. Who loves China? Who loves
China is being abused by the Western
you see the
power.
arrogance? No, you see the arrogance?
He doesn't know more than
He's
White
so
power.
arrogant, he doesn't want to learn from the Chinese people.
He knows. He knows. The Opium Wars. The British went to China and caused trouble over there.
So,
That's why it's a global system.
Sir,
Hong Kong, Shanghai Bank. Hong Kong, Shanghai Bank. See, did you hear that? She's watching China all the way from China, and he's backing me up.
no, it's not backing. You are manipulating the situation.
I just asked him a question.
You are manipulating the situation.
Watch him.
Listen.
If I'm wrong,
you're
tell me if I'm wrong.
Sir, you talked about the Opium War. Where was the opium grown?
Correct.
Did we grow the opium in Shepherd's Bush?
No. India.
Where did the opium war came from?
Where did the opium itself come
You see, sir,
Where you coming from?
I know you.
Where you coming from? Where you coming from? Where you coming from?
My friend, please, it
Where
was
you
too
coming-
dark when I left.
Where you coming
I
from?
couldn't see a fucking thing.
Where you coming from?
Now,
Shaitan,
please, my friend, you wouldn't like my answer.
Shaitan, Shaitan. Where you
Wouldn't
coming
like my answer. You look like where I come from.
from? No,
I come from a cunt and you look like one.
no. Don't say it. Don't say it. You don't
Opium
need it.
Wars and China, the abuse
Sir.
of China and the Chinese by the West.
Nonsense.
You put tea over there.
The
Tea
power
can.
of the Western world over the Chinese area and the continent.
You got it wrong.
Sir,
Ask them.
sir,
They know.
please.
Where did opium
This
come
guy is in London. Meets visitors from China.
Who should know about
And
China?
he is assuming that London is the center of the universe. And London defines what China is. And you're falling into his trap. I mean, you guys wake up. All right? London is not the center of the universe. I would never discuss with any individual with black shiny boots about any other states outside of London. Let him tell you about London, right? Let him tell you about how he exists and survives in London.
Full of shit.
Okay? Now, sir, it's called cultural relativism. In other words, no human being is universally neutral and value free. No human being that comes from a culture has the right to judge another person who has their own or a different culture.
Where did you get that from? That idea from?
Well,
The right is might. Might is power. Right? They will judge according to they have the power to.
he's not even Tyson and he's talking about power. He's not even a boxing world champion and he's talking about power. Have you ever been into a ring with Muhammad Ali and tell Muhammad Ali about white supremacy? One black punch will make you see white stars. Idiot.
But
See,
who
oh,
owns
my
the
friend,
ring?
you are
Who
not
trained him?
He is
Who
not
trained
an
Muhammad
athlete.
Ali?
He is not an athlete. If you are a
The
scientist,
white man did. The white
when he
man
goes to the toilet,
owns the ring.
it's the white man that gives him the energy to shit. You are hopeless. Everywhere he goes, he see the white man.
That's right, because the white man is everywhere.
My
The
friend,
great traveler.
well,
Owned
why
it.
don't you change your church? Change your tune. If the white man is so great and beautiful, you belong to the wrong club. You better change your color of skin. You need to change your black suit.
No, there's no way of changing this. You have to be white to
He's
be a member
hopeless. You see what I mean?
of white
You see what
supremacy.
I mean? He condemns the black because he says white is supreme and black is. Instead of you educating the black people
Black people are
not
victims.
to feel inferior, you're supposed to develop them, not put them down by reminding them about how superior the white man
You
is.
have to tell the people the truth.
Hey, what are you
You have
talking
to
about?
tell the people the truth.
Yeah, but what
that
is
the
the
world
truth?
is run by white supremacy.
Did you hear that?
Racism. Racism is the biggest problem on the planet.
Okay, sir.
Racism is the biggest problem on the planet.
Beautiful.
Speech, he writes.
Speech. Sir, are you married to a white woman?
No,
Why not?
I am a victim of racism.
Are you married to a black woman?
No.
Man, this guy is in hell of a state. No woman, black or white. No.
You can't get married in prison. We're inside
hear
a
what he said?
racist
You can't get married in prison.
No.
So you're saving yourself for when the homosexual gang meets you in prison, you're going to have an orgy. What?
No, one is,
My
not
friend.
me.
Your race is going to have problems with its horn. You see the problematic? Because when the individual see racism as part of human nature and they're looking for racism, guess what? They say, it's got to be the white because I can see the guy body is white. So he's got to be the racist. So when they say they're anti-racist, they end up being anti-white. And also, the problem of saying that racism is part of human nature, other individuals who see themselves as non-white and black, they blame their skin. They think it's because of the color of their skin, it's that they're unemployed, they're poor, and they're excluded. Not because, you understand what I'm saying? They blame the skin. So it takes a lot of negative directions. Because recently, skin lightness has increased, right?
I didn't know.
Skin lightness.
The lightness.
Chemicals. Madam, it's very easy. People are too intelligent. Okay? And they say that I'm competing with the mosquito and the chimpanzee, right? So the only thing I have is my skin, isn't it? And the reason why Prince Charles runs the parks, the reason why people's names are on shops is because of their looks. Identity politics. They look at identity. Okay? Because of. So they say, if I change my color of my skin and look as white as they are, I stand a good chance, isn't it? Do you understand what I'm saying? People, it's a philosophy, they're too clever. Now, if they understand that is despite, regardless of the color, then they will look at organization, then they will look at education and skill and training. Also, if they conceptualize racism as an ideology, then they realize anyone could buy into it, isn't it? Because it's only a construct. But by this joker saying that blacks cannot be racist, what he's saying is that blacks don't have the imagination and intelligence to be racist. I used to have big arguments with the extreme British left. You know, in South Africa, papers now, the newspapers, the left newspapers, you know what they say? They're saying, oh, South African racism is making the black fighting among the blacks. Okay? They used to say tribes, right? Because the left have this notion that all blacks are impotent, stupid victims, that blacks don't have the brains to be fascists and racists and criminals, isn't it? It's a matter of perception. You see, this, even in South Africa, this is interesting about South Africa, that if you go to the African, first they will tell you the first loyalty and identity is the tribe, second is black, third is citizenship. The whites is the opposite. The whites citizenship first. And to make it more interesting, you've got the song of multiculturalism. Now, that's what they want. Because when they say, I have a culture, and they interpret multiculturalism, that I have a right, that legitimizes all their prejudices and ethnocentrisms. But it's okay. Businesses love it. This is it. It keeps them quiet. They believe in the tribe and in the niche. And when they're frustrated, guess what? They end up, that's right, they end up as psychopaths, hurting people that are poor as they are. Okay? South Africa was a big construct, a very mythical construct by the media. South Africa and the Sudan, okay, by the turn of the century, well, in the 21st century now.
Come to my place, yeah.
Sir, they had the largest trade unions in Africa, okay? And the problem with trade unions in Africa, it unites the workers because they have a common employment right. Now, South Africa and the Congo and Sudan, well, Sudan is having problems now. They are the centers of strategic minerals, raw materials, okay? There is so much investment in South Africa. It was not feasible that the workers in South Africa could form an alliance and unite it. Because if they did, they will have an increased wages, isn't it? It was like in Germany, right? Germany had the largest social democratic movement. The workers were very organized. So the big, So the big businesses now have to find a way, how can we divide Germany? That's why they took Hitler, trained him, he did his job.
So who trained Hitler?
Sorry?
So who trained Hitler?
I don't know.
And we are German, so we are really interested in that.
When you say you're German, are you the German ambassador?
No, but I'm a German citizen.
Oh, come on, guy. When you say you're German, what do you mean you're German?
German citizen, I have a right to my passport.
That's your nationality.
And I believe in my nationality.
What is a nationality? What's the difference between national identity and nationality? What's the difference between your German nationality and your German identity?
Sorry. Difference between nationality and citizenship.
National identity.
National identity and citizenship. What's the difference?
Sir, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I want you to give me a clear, defined meaning. What does it mean to be German? Okay? You're just throwing this word, I'm German. I want to know, how do you define who you are?
It's a feeling where you're homeless. Feeling where you're homeless. Where you're homeless.
Where your home is?
Of course. Where your family is. It's okay. Where it's original.
It's alright, fair enough.
Okay, but you see that with the Yugoslavs.
You don't feel as like Yugoslavia.
Exactly. They are all very different types of people. And there's no joke that's work. Yugoslavs.
Yeah, before Bismarck, was there Germany?
No.
But the German language
Sir, it's a problem of construction, the state, nation, and the nation state. Anyway, forget my friends. You have your rights under the law. That's your nationality. Enjoy. Beautiful. So, what foreign companies do you have in Germany? Do you have foreign companies in Germany? Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm only interested in how they construct apartheid. Now, when they say apartheid, what do they mean?
separate development.
Separate what?
Separate development.
Now they've just reversed it. That's why all the educated South Africans are
If apartheid is separate development, how come in South Africa now crime has increased? Okay. Poverty has increased, inequality has increased, so who is developing who? I know, my friends, that is the propaganda. This is the propaganda. Apartheid was not, I am going to use the process of elimination, because I don't know what it is. Apartheid was not defined as segregation. Now, segregation in geography, right? You got ecological segregation. Okay? You've got the toilet segregated from your kitchen. You've got the factories segregated from where you're home. You've got the sewage system. This is ecological segregation. In economics, socio-economic situation, we talk of industrial apartheid. That is women being paid less than men, okay, for equal value of work. In politics,
more than 55% of the population.
right. In politics, we're dealing with power, right? Separation of powers. Now, in land use, you're talking about who owns and who doesn't own land. You understand what I'm saying? That apartheid was not constructed to take segregation into account. Apartheid was constructed as a cosmetic, as color, as race. Okay? Buy into it. So when Mandela became the first black president, they put the black face on TV and they tell the blacks, no more apartheid, no more, listen. No, but nothing has changed. Right, because it's what they call cosmetics, okay? You put on a new hat, a new suit, okay? Does it make you a better person? No. So this is the issue, because South Africa is linked to the global system. Multinational corporations run it, okay? Look how they construct the whites. They say the whites was oppressing the blacks in South Africa. Majority of white people are poor. Majority of white people are poor.
That's just revenge.
And look at the blacks in South Africa. Mandela is a prince.
God.
He is richer, wealthier than most whites. How can they say that whites oppressing people like Mandela? Mandela has nothing in common with the ordinary South African people. They believe that their skin is their problem, but their blacks, the black skin is more intelligent than the blacks. If it wasn't for the white people, the blacks would die. Look at Africa. They have more blacks in Africa than in America, than in South America. And they can't even unite. Tribalism is killing the mothers. And they fight for Muhammad. Could you imagine? Blacks will die for Muhammad and Jesus. They're not going to die for the mountain gorilla. They're not going to die to save the rainforest. No, you speak for yourself. I'm speaking from me. Look at Speaker's Corner. Right? Do you see any blacks stand up? Do you hear them talking about education, unemployment, housing, land erosion? You hear them talking about corrupt governments? Did you hear them talking about sexism, misogyny? Why don't they? Most of them in Speaker's Corner are either talking about religion. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm no fool. I'm not standing up here to represent no black. Now, the problem is race. Blacks believe in the black race, and if whites believe in the white race, they say they're racist. You can't have it both ways. Race is race. How can you say the black race is okay and the white race is not? Do you see the problem we've got, madam?
Just human at the end of the day.
Madam, that is the problem. How can you be a human being? You believe in the black race. I had to tell many leftists, you know the leftists? The leftists, if you are a fascist, the leftists will fight you, attack you on the streets. And guess what? The leftists never attack black fascists. They never attack Indian and Chinese fascists. Oh no! Only white fascists must be attacked. How do you explain that one? So I make a deal with them. I says, look, you don't attack the white fascists and I wouldn't attack the black fascists, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying, madam? There is inconsistency. That's the problem with South Africa, right? Everyone is appeasing. They're not honest. Listen to it. Look what happened in South Africa. Could you imagine? How can you organize an election appealing to the black vote? This is race, isn't it? And you know something? The blacks did not invent race. And they don't believe in race. They believe in their tribe. It's very difficult, madam. From the very beginning, okay? It's all opportunism. The ANC, what is it? It's the African National Congress. The ANC is not the Human National Congress. It's not the Citizens National Congress. I don't want to get involved, madam. I was attacked. I was attacked many times because I criticized the racism of the blacks. Okay? Muslims are the same. If you criticize their wrongdoing, they say you're Islamophobic. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to know, man. The pain. You see, in sociology, social scientists don't recognize race. As a biological or scientific whatever. All social scientists agree, although they don't agree, that race is a poor analytical tool. That's why they talk of race relations. They don't talk about race. And when they say race relations, what they're talking about is how humans relate with one another in society, socio-economic relationship, and how ideology intervene the lens people use to interpret their relationship. So they see race as an aspect of social relations, like gender, okay, like class, okay. So no social scientists are into sociology of aspects. But South Africa and Africa, it means they're raw materials for corrupt, unscrupulous politicians. And don't forget, the mining corporations have power on the land.